We can't have another. We can't have another Rodney King riot. They almost took us under. Why? Because they was fighting the powers that be, and they knew 911 was a joke. You see, but that was a social. Even though that was a negative message, it had a social commentary in it. So when the people ran down up on Rodney, it was like, hell no, we won't go. We about to get into that business. We about to get into that business, right? And they still caught up with you later, Rodney. See how that go? They still caught up with you later, Rodney. God damn.
Still caught up with him later.
God damn, Rodney. What you was doing? What you was really doing, Rodney, to attract that type of shit? You see? Because I'm a big fan of the law of attraction, man. And I think hip-hop is the reason why black people have inherited so much damage in our community today.
Definitely.
The gangs, especially that drill music, that I don't even call that hip-hop.
Exactly. The drill music.
That shit ain't, I run in the house and hit your mama. That shit ain't no fucking music, man.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, real music, real music moves the soul to inspiration. Real music, gives you motivation. Real music touches your soul and makes you feel good, right? Mm-hmm. Today's music is just filled with these emo rappers rapping about how some girl broke their heart. Man, nigga, get you some nuts about yourself and get you some fucking go drink you some vodka and get some fucking hair on your chest. Let nigga crying about what she did. These niggas is crying. These niggas done reversed the role. You feel me? Go look at what old boy just had to do. Kevin Hart just was sitting on laps. Come on now. Kevin Hart sitting on laps trying to get the bread. Look at them. They all got Kevin, that was just yesterday, the day before yesterday? Kevin, the white boy carrying Kevin Hart like a little child, sat him on his lap like Santa for Christmas, and he act like a little child in the white man lap. Oh, see? And this is the shit. Like, y'all support that? Y'all gonna go watch his next movie, huh? I bet y'all gonna go watch his next movie, huh? When it come out, y'all gonna all watch Kevin. Man, fuck Kevin Hart. I don't watch no name. I stopped watching Kevin Hart movies a long time ago.
Yeah.
I stopped watching Kevin a long time ago. Why? Because I know one thing for certain, two things for sure. You ain't helping us. You almost a billion. You about to be the first comedian billionaire, and still ain't did nothing for a nigga.
Yeah, most of these rappers, they turn actors, even Common left us for acting, even Common left us, like in DMX.
Hold on, what Denzel done did for a nigga, man? Come on, besides come talk to a nigga college. Besides come talk to a nigga college, give an acceptance speech, or pay for somebody tuition, or at some fucking white boy college, because even the black colleges are owned by white folk. Come on, stop playing them games like black folk own them damn colleges.
Yeah, exactly.
Black folk don't own them damn colleges. Stop that shit. HB. Stop calling that shit historically black. Nigga, that shit ain't never been no historically black. Cause fucking white folk been funding them universities now. So stop playing them games. White folk,
it's like the record label. It's like the record label.
Well, I gotta shout out, man. I gotta shout out Hampton University.
They bad boy records.
I gotta shout out Hampton University.
Hampton got an answer to that nigga that live in the Hamptons. See how that go?
That's oh man,
that's why they call that bitch Hampton. The people in the Hamptons own that shit. Man. They probably been living off of Hampton University too.
Well, yeah. The first people in the Hamptons were us. The first people in the Hamptons were us. We got kicked out the Hamptons.
We got ran out.
We got ran out the Hamptons.
The hamburger ran us out of the Hamptons.
Still, I got to salute Hampton University, all right? And all my HBCUs, salute. But, I mean, you do bring up a good point. And it comes down to this. How does this empower us?
Man, knowledge is power, man. Knowledge applied is powered on times 10, right? Knowing, that's the beginning of saying, okay, I know better. You can't fool me no more. But applying what I know, that's saying, okay, let's have a race and competition. I think I know better than you. You see how they go? And so that's what we got to get at when it comes to black folk. Like, black folk got to get reinterested in nerd shit again.
Know the ledge.
We gotta get reinterested in. We gotta get reinterested in matters of intellect and matters of social and matters of social engineering and in matters of real gaining political footholds and matters of really gaining a root in a financial structure within this financial structure that can battle it. You feel me? And the only way you can do that is by start getting black folk healthy, because we sick. We sick. You feel me? So a lot of us want to do great things, but we sick. And that's the part where I got into the field of, you know, health and wellness, because I feel like you can accomplish anything you want if you live to be 100 like Rockefeller did.
Mm.
Prince Philip just died at 99. I'm pretty sure he lived out his wildest dreams. 99 years. That's vampire numbers, man. And people putting up centuries on us. We can't make it past the half century mark.
Definitely true.
And they're living into these ripe old ages, because that's the second age of your life where you make the majority of the wise decisions. Your 1 through 50 is the majority of your fucked up decisions. The 51 through 100, you're gonna make way more wiser decisions than 1 through 50. See? So that's you got 2 phases of your life. So they're robbing us of our second phase of life through tricking us, through practicing poisonous things and toxic things in our first phase of life.
Exactly.
Okay? And so
Who's
this
that?
is why
Who is that? Who is that?
they, first and foremost, you gotta look at the paper trail. When you see who they is, we gotta go to politics. Okay? The top members of politics, the top members of media, the top members of the educational system.
Yep.
Okay, the top members, Vivendi and Viacom and all these
Fendi,
names
yep.
that got no faces. These big ass companies ain't got no faces, or the faces is just this CEO paid puppet, because the real hidden hands are really, really, really going in. The top people in these military branches and in these fucking intelligence and community branches. Okay, all right. The top people in these hospital branches. Right, even and it trickles down. They got people all on all levels. Now it's infiltrated on all levels. Don't get it twisted. The devil is on all levels. The devil was able to walk all the way in heaven and holler at God and say, "What's that with that nigga Joe?" Okay, so we know the devil go to and fro, heaven and hell, earth and to and fro. So we know the devil on all levels, just like God on levels, challenging us. I feel like this is just a great challenge for Black people that's going to go down in our history of how we failed and how we overcame. And when you look at the top people in banking, and the top people in the religious communities, and the top people in the stock industry, and the top people, especially with that whole black market. Oh my goodness! Don't even talk about the black market and the stock industry. This black market and the stock market is what fused the 8-head hydra of what we call the beast in America: politics, media, education, business, military, medicine, banking, religion. Okay, and when you look at these eight heads that really govern our life, you're saying, where's the money come to fund this evil? And now you got to look at, okay, the stock market and the black market. Okay, the black market, that's the source, that's the pool of dark money. That's the pool, that's why they call it the dark web. That's the pool of the dark energy. All that organ harvesting, all of them drug selling, all of the illegal guns, illegal gambling, illegal motherfucking diamonds, illegal everything, illegal. You name it. There's something illegal on the black market. This funnels the monies into the stock market. So the black market, if this was a car, if the powers that be were a car, okay, then the black market would be the engine and the transmission and the motor, the shit that makes the car room, right? All right, but now the car still needs to get to and fro, and the stock market would be the pedal, the brake, the gauge, the speedometer, the radio, and the front and the dash and the window. All right, and the rest would be the parts of the car, the doors, the wheels, and everything else. But the two things that fuse this car of evil, because when you look at all of these industries, they're all, number one, appear to be owned by white folk. Appear to be owned by white folk. And number two, these industries are all billion-trillion-dollar industries, and they're all riddled with massive amounts of evil. And so that lets you, and then when you analyze who is it a shame to offend in society, now you know who's running that plate. Remember, they tell you whoever is afraid, at that time, the power of the society, you never speak against the power of a particular society. For instance, when the king was in, you never talk bad about that particular king or this, that, and third. So who do people get canceled for talking about? Who do people get fired for standing up to? who are the bullies of society, and you'll see who's running this. You'll see who's running this evil car. And when you see who's running this evil car, it's the same old story of Sodom and Gomorrah. And I'm a big old fan of, number one, standing up to that lesser magic, lesser arcana, that weaker shit that the great grand holy mother can completely trample and run over. Number one. And number two, making sure that my young black men and my young black women still today see the truth behind that veil, because these are the people who created Planned Parenthood and got you aborting your womb. These are the people who own in Monsanto and got you trying to modify all your meat and modify all your food. Okay, remember, these are the people who remember that black doctor already discovered it and exposed them. They're putting atrazine in our food, putting estrogen in our male boys' hormones, right, and turning them more effeminate. This is why these men are being born more smaller, more skinnier. Look at all of these rappers. Go look at all the rappers. All of them are skinny, little frail, short, little boys.
Eating too much too.
The one that was so-called the tall ones, they're not in the spotlight. The tall, big, 6 feet men, they're not in the spotlight unless you're in sports or something, right? And when you look at that, look at these little boys who they are glorifying as the creme de la creme for black manhood, you'll see, okay, what is fueling that? Well, let's see. Y'all talk about their clothes and pants sagging off their ass, but who creating their clothes? Who creating their clothes? Let's talk about it.
Oh yeah, Louis Vuitton. Who else?
That's the gay mafia. Come on, let's talk about it, man.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the gay
Gucci,
mafia.
Prada.
Just because they gay don't mean it ain't mafia. Just because they gay don't mean it ain't mafia. Okay. Just because they homosexual don't mean they ain't catching bodies. Man, I was in jail. I know niggas catching bodies, having sex with other men. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? They wasn't respected more than the men in jail, but they still had a bit of respect more than the nigga that was taking the cock. Okay. The people who took cock had to sit down and pee on the toilet like they were female. This is how you know it's a feminine trait. And the LGBTQIA, all of them are the GTBQIA. They're imitating the L, okay? Because all of them are imitating women. And I don't have a problem with saying this because I don't never needed them to build my brand, and I never needed them to get my money, and I never needed them for anything in my whole entire life of living. So therefore, I can analyze this truth from a perspective of non-biased judgment. Like, wait a minute, look who's ordering, look who's making your kids' clothes, look who's creating your kids' food, look who's owning your kids' cartoons. These are all people accused of sexual abuse of women, pedophilia. They got all kind of scandals within their organizations, all kind of scandals within their personal lives. Man, all of your top leaders, show me one top leader right now that's leading America right now who doesn't have some complete mud just all in their shit. It's everywhere. Infestation. And they're using hip-hop as the vehicle, as the Pied Piper to lure everybody in to the poison, okay? And the name of the game, I don't know if you ever played Dirty Hearts, but the card game Dirty Hearts, you can take somebody with you when you the Funky Fvckery. See? I like that because, I remember funk music ain't never used to be really that much of a fuckery, when you look at, but look at it, think about it. Funk is not a positive word, brother. I would consider funk, listen, you ready for this shit? Think about it. Pain. Nobody who likes pain. Nobody, but we call it pain music. Some shit that we don't like. This is the law of attraction, right? Definitely. Who likes funk? Nobody really likes a funky person sitting next to them, but we still call this stuff funky music, right? Play that funky music, white boy. See, they was trying to show you who was funky, and you just adopted the fucking funk. See, look what he said. He said, play that funky music, white boy. They were trying to show you who the funk was coming from. But we wasn't listening to the prophecy and the music. We was just bobbing our head and shucking and jiving, doing our chicken and doing our motherfucking dances. Because guess what? The elders had what? Had dances just like these youngsters got dances right now. The funky chicken, y'all remember the, spill of wine, dig that girl, y'all already know, right? So let's analyze what was going on, and you'll see they've just taken it now and taken it to the next level of propaganda and marketing to hurt and poison our people at a high level. When these rappers are endorsing poisonous drinks to you, right?
Exactly.
Come eat my poisonous food at my poisonous restaurant. Come drink my poisonous alcohol at this poisonous liquor store.
Ciroc.
Come spend your money. Come spend your hard-earned money at my poisonous concert that can get
Hennessy.
your kid killed. Come and invest into my evil, right? And this is the problem I have with it. I can see if even the gangsters back in the day, right? They had drugs flooding the hood, but they had community center and stuff for the good people. So hey, y'all get y'all ass back, get off the block. The children couldn't just hang around the drug dealers back in the day. Get your ass inside before something bad happened to you. Go inside by your mama, right? We had some authority going on,
right.
but we don't even got none of this. We're investing into all of these young black bought kids. They've been bought out of poverty, right? And this is why they tell you don't make deals with a poor man. Why? Because they make moves out of desperation. Okay, it's not their fault. They're trying to eat. They're trying to live. Okay, and
they say desperate times call for desperate measures. Exactly.
And don't never fuck with a desperate man. See? Don't fuck with no desperate man. He desperate, man. He stay away from desperation, and stay next to the people who bring aspiration. See, because association brings on assimilation. So you gotta watch out who you associating with.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't hang around like desperate people who are so entranced and caught into this physical world that it brings them into an emotional breakdown or brings them into negative words out of their mouth or can drive them to do some messed up stuff or say some messed up stuff to you because their so-called part of their life is not in line with how they want it, or they can't handle certain emotions when somebody tell them the truth, or they can't handle certain, we have no our emotional IQ is way down here. And I heard somebody talking the other day, like I was supposed to respect their feelings because they felt some way. And that's farthest from the truth. I said, I care not about your feelings because feelings can come from a place of falsehood. You know how many people done hated on Seiko Varner without even knowing him, and then they met him and were like, man, that dude a cool dude.
Exactly.
Right? And so feelings could come from a place of falsehood. So I don't trust feelings, I trust actions. Actions gonna show me how you really feel. You see what I'm saying? Because that's why it speaks louder than words, because 85% of all language is nonverbal. So let's look at the nonverbal cues.
Body language.
Let's look at the nonverbal cues that these rappers are sending us. Oh, matter of fact, let me share this too. Look at the cues that these rappers are sending us. They're sending us, we don't care about you. We don't care about your children. We don't care about none of your we don't care about nothing you're going through, right?
So that's the basis of the effery, man. That's the basis. Because whenever we deal with people who don't care, they destroy things. If I give somebody a brand new car,
they have to get a phone line.
if I get somebody a brand new car and they don't wash the car, they don't change the oil, they don't rotate the tires, in about 3 years, that car is going to be a piece of trash.
But think
they
about
gave you something brand new, but it was because they didn't care for it.
But
and
think
as long
about
as we keep,
what if they don't know how to rotate the tires? What if they don't know how to wash your car? What if a lot of youngsters, right? 15, 16, 17 years old, no, they literally don't know. They don't have no skills. They're being raised by women. Men are the people who instill discipline. 82% of us have been robbed out of our homes. 82% of us are missing out the home. How are you gonna teach them? How are they gonna change a tire when they don't even know how to change one? How are they gonna take care of a car when they don't know the meaning of even having one?
So you're saying since we haven't taught them to care, they don't care.
Remember, Martin Luther King told us, he marched us into a burning house.
He said
we inherited the fuckery. He said he marched us into a burning house. He marched our black dollars out of Black Wall Street and into their community. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So now,
So what will empower us then, man?
and you talk about COINTELPRO when COINTELPRO infiltrated, they took you out of this. They took you out of. Remember, the gangs didn't start off the killing machines that they are now.
Exactly.
Gangs started off as protection machines for the community. Black men protecting our community.
Right.
Okay.
That's right. Boom. Community revolution in progress.
Right. Our financial state, our economic state led us to desperation. And we, just like Richard Pryor did in the movie, we let the white man buy us. Okay? And when that happened, we were able to walk into a trap just like any raccoon or any deer or any other animal that walks into a trap. Okay, that's why they call it the trap, and they call it trap music. They literally call it trap music.
Okay? Music.
Rap music is literally trap music. It traps the consciousness and traps the mind, our children's mind, into believing that you could acquire those things that you see those people have, committing the acts that you hear them rap in their songs, and that's far from the truth. Okay, and now our black men are robbed out of the home, right? And you see what it has done. You have women raising our men, and they're turned effeminate. This is just common sense. You can't have 82. You can't have 75%. 80% of these young men being raised by women and expect them to know how to change tires. Women don't change no damn tires, bro. Women don't know how to operate. No, man. Show me, man. There's rare few women mechanics you can go see right now. They're gonna take your camshaft, lift it, and click, clack, and put that motherfucker. Nah, man. Women ain't doing it. The one that could do that, she's probably on NASCAR somewhere, doing some NASCAR type shit.
All right, so
that's rare. You know
what we do?
Yeah, what we do, right? And so,
what do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Man.
Oh, so first and foremost, the first thing we do is we reach out and we outreach, right? That's the first. That's called. I read a book called How to Budget. I mean, how to market on a shoestring budget. And the first way you market on a shoestring budget, because we black people, we operate on a shoestring budget, even though we make $2 trillion out of this economy, it's squandered and wasted on not in places that don't belong to our community, so we don't see it come back and stimulate our community. All right, so we got to operate on a shoestring budget. Where the first way you operate on a shoestring budget is outreach. Where is and that's nothing. It's nothing. It costs nothing to pick up phones and start reaching out and telling people this is what's popping. Who's willing to open their arm? This is how at my FCA got started. I just landed and just started walking around saying, "Hey, people, I do this thing. Do you want to try it? Do you want to see what's up with it? Do you want to hear what I have to say? Do you want to go some more? Look, well, how can I do more? You can do more by doing this, this, and this, and giving you a roadmap to how to help us reach out, right? So we can reach out to the schools. I go look on my website, man. I told you I was just at, not just at, but I've done schools, right, in San Bernardino and in New Orleans and things of that nature, right? We can reach out to the prisons. That's nothing. That don't cost nothing. It costs nothing to reach out to the prisons. Stimulate their mind while they're in jail so they can come home changed when they get out. Because rehabilitation starts while you're in. Really, if you're not rehabilitating yourself while you're in there behind the wall, you are wasting your time in prison. Period. And the cultivation, and you tell that to the people in school. If you're not, man, if you're wasting your time being friends and having all of these friends, you're wasting your time in school. You might as well just drop out and go get you some friends. Exactly. You want friends, and you're going to school for friends.
Get friends on
bucket out
Facebook.
the hatches, get humble, and keep going. That's number one, man. So you visit the youth, and you visit the people in jail, and number three, you visit the elders. Who said the elders still ain't got no juice left in them? Who said the elders still ain't got no connections, right? And well, what are you proposing that we do, man? I told you, y'all already got Chakra Doctor. I've been healing people. Throw me in the water with the ocean with the sharks, and I'm gonna eat them up like a whale. Then you ain't got to worry about all the rest. All you need to do is just point, and click like the keyboard on the mouse. Boom, click, and click on, and I'm going now. So this is what I be reaching out telling people. If y'all really care about black people, I'm healing them already.
What do we do about our music?
Exemptions. I'm already giving them vaccine exemptions, right? I'm already giving them, healing modalities to heal their body, healing them modalities to heal their mind. Outside of that magic stuff, you ain't never got to buy no magic stuff. You still benefit from Chakra Doctor, right? So,
all right. What do we do about our music, bro? What do we do about our music? Yeah.
Oh, so you can't do nothing about the music until you start doing something about the mind state of the people who are buying into the music
Definitely.
The mindset of the people who create the music. You can't do nothing about the music. This is what's programming society. People are gonna want to listen to something. Is not the music per se. It is your lack of compassion when it comes to building the people who are listening to your music. Our musicians used to build us. You can go listen to songs right now. Brother,
Marvin Gaye.
Right, too many of us now. We got to find a way to show some. See, like you used to have a commentary that showed that our musicians cared about us. Yeah. Right? Our musicians don't care about us anymore, and so that's why we're not seeing, you know, an advancement in our consciousness and the social and the social psyche, because our musicians don't care about us anymore. It's not about, hey, man, you know how many white boys rapping about shit they ain't never did. Rock and roll music right now, and they making millions of dollars off this shit. It's never been about rapping or moving your fantasy and spitting what's in your fantasy or spitting something in a song. It's about the characters who are giving us these songs. They're not equating to characters who are able to lead us when it's time to lead. They're gonna fold, they're gonna bend, they're gonna break. When they get their millions, they're not gonna reinvest in us.
Exactly.
When they get there, so it's not about the music, it's about the characters who we are allowing to peddle music to us. So you know, I never said blame the oppressor. No, blame the oppressed for allowing the oppressor to oppress them, because last time I checked, we all have a choice: win or go home. See?
Exactly.
And so this is where outreach begins, where you start planting these seeds right now, so that in 2024, 2025, 2026, that speech that they heard in 2021 and 2022 starts now is taking to a nice root and effect, because they done went through some things. You got to start sparking the change, and by being the change first. So why not? I came from all of the backgrounds that these people they came from. I come from at one time, all of them in one conglomerate, right? Whether your people died, whether you was in jail, whether you didn't had a battle fighting an incurable disease, whether you've been, whether you've been laid off or having come out of poverty, whether you've been suicidal and depressed and attempted suicidal and depression, whether whether you've been trying to get a business off the ground and you just don't know what you're gonna do when the first 1 to 3 years when your business is just rocky and you just don't know what to do with your business, right? Everything, right? And when you add that, say, man, well, let's do something, brothers. We could all go to a prison. We could all go to, man, let's get together and go to a school. Because these are the people, remember, they locked them up because these are the ones with the greatest potentials. Okay? The reason why they're in prison, because they were the ones that say, man, fuck the government, fuck the law, fuck what the white boy is saying, and I'm going to do what the fuck I want. How the fuck he going to make trillions of dollars off his pharmaceutical industry? But the minute I try to feed my family by selling some fucking dope, he want to throw me in jail for life. See, that ain't a fair playing field, white boy. Last time I checked, it's called justice, order, reciprocity. Okay? And so if you want to start maintaining some true justice, we got to start reaching to the people. Our children are the ones who are about to be the future. We got to reach out to them. Our elders are the ones who are going to guide them through the wisdom. So we got to reach out to them. We got to bridge these gaps. And the only way we do it is by outreach. That's the first stage of marketing. Outreach. Let's talk about what we can do. All right? What you can do. This is what we're doing. And this is what we're bringing to the table. And this is how we're going to bring it to the table. What do you have to add on at the feast of the Last Supper? You feel me? Or the First Supper, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? And every little bit counts, man. I don't care if they volunteer an hour a week doing something. Start creating stuff for people to do. Our children don't got nothing to do. So start creating things for them to do. You know what I mean? We start creating things for inmates to do. Like, wait a minute, I could give them some exercises. Now, what are you talking about? I got programs for days. Programs, our bodies are machines, our brains are computers. That's all I am. I'm a walking fucking AI. Nigga, what are you talking about? Let's get it. Let's sit me around some geniuses and let's go do our thing. And I got the magic. I got the sorcery. That white boy ain't touching me. That white boy ain't touching you. That white boy ain't messing with nothing. Love got the love touching, putting his hands on, because love turned everything into gold. Okay? So
that's the hashtag love gang.
Love gang. That love turned everything into gold, man. And this is how Haiti was able to beat the colonizer, because they loved themselves more than they loved the nigga that was the motherfucker who was about to enslave them. See? They loved themselves more. And when you love yourself, you will love your neighbor as you love yourself. But first, you gotta show love, how to love. Remember, so what black people, now remember, this was supposed to be the black church. They fell off this task. The only thing they worry about is money every Sunday. The black church is supposed to be outreaching to all of these places.
Exactly.
So they not doing it. This is $1 billion, $1 trillion industry.
And some churches are owned by the government.
And the government on the church and the government on the prison. See how you see how it go?
Full cycle, man.
It's a full cycle. So you gotta, you know what you gotta do? You gotta outreach, and you gotta start doing that classic, old-fashioned word of mouth, hand to hand, person to person campaigning like the presidents and the senators do when they're trying to go gain some key states. When a president trying to gain some key states, he's hitting the ground. You don't see black people hitting the ground to the people who really gonna be voting for them. See, remember, we talk about that stuff, but hip hop, the people who listen to hip hop are the people that we scared to go around, the hoods, the destitute, you know, the people who poor and things of that nature. And so once you get over the fear of poverty, I came from poverty, I beat it already. You can't bring me back in, and I'm about to come out and reach out. And you reach out to those churches. Hey, man, start sparking some stimulus back in these churches. These churches might want to get involved in some program. You just reach out, man, and that's the greatest thing you could ever do, man. That's the first step, because then things start taking lives of their own. Because he reaching out doing this, and now it becomes a positive competition. He doing that good thing. Well, I'm about to do this good thing over here. Okay, and monkey see, monkey do. I'm sad to say, monkey see, monkey fucking do. And you start an outreach program, why somebody else gonna start reaching out to the prisons too, and why somebody else gonna start reaching out. And you start these individual outreach programs, but you just do it. You start it with yourself and the people you can outreach with, and you do that. So if it's you and your brother, or it's you by yourself, it could be you by yourself. Outreach. How do I outreach? First and foremost, have a plan. Don't go outreaching to nobody if you ain't got no plan. People already got enough shit on their plate to be wasting time dealing with your no plan having ass. Okay? That's number one. That's number one. Okay? And come with a plan. And make sure all of your angles are covered with that plan.
Yeah.
And make sure that you're willing to put your highest blood, sweat, and tears dedication into that plan, and make sure you show the people who you're outreaching to that you are 100% sold on this plan. And and show us step by step. Don't leave no question unanswered. If there's a question you feel like they can be answered about, ask about your outreach or your presentation, figure it out, research, and answer it, man. The one thing that always got black people to buy into me and got other people to buy into me is that when they started giving me 20 questions, I was able to answer 21. See? Okay? Yeah. And every time they ask what's the numbers on this? What's the numbers on this? I got the numbers correct. I got the data correct. And I can spit it out the top of my brain like I got to read no paper. I'm in the trenches with this. And this is what black people got to see. Black people got to see the outreach, that love again. Outreaching, you know what I mean? And each one teach one, reach one. This is what they say. Okay? And so we got to start reaching each other again. And that's what's going to start sparking ideas, right? Because remember, great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, and small minds discuss people. Right now, we're on the level of small-minded stuff, discussing about who got what money, who got what car, who died at what corner, who went to the funeral, who didn't come to the repast, who went to the concert, and who went to school, who got dropped out. See, we're just talking about people.
Gossiping, exactly.
Yeah, we're just gossiping. And remember, the Bible says nothing comes to a gossiper but a headache. Okay, so we gotta remember what's going on. Remember, and we've popularized gossip. World stars of the world, and all of these things of the world. And so this is why I know for a fact, back side note, that shit was hoax. Because we live in a world that's based in too much gossip, and the real would have come out by now. It would have leaked. There would have been a leak.
So your point is, if we improve our experience, if we improve our environment, our music will reflect that.
Of course. Well,
Oh yeah, most Def said it.
I always say once you start changing your vibration, your music is going to accommodate that change.